40, you start the game without 3 players, 3 more foul out, 2 more finish on 4 fouls. Where's that rank against the odds victories you've had in your time head coaching?
Yeah, we were running out of players. One, I had to get some of the guys that were on the floor from the other team or whoever was available. But you know, it's been a real good week. You know, I've challenged a few guys, and you know, there's been this little shift in how we go about a day today, which I think is for the betterment in the sense of competition. It's interesting, right? You know, I don't want to get the old cliche lines where they talk about like pressure creates diamonds and stuff like that, but that's really what we went for. And look, you know, I can't fault the guys' effort and the hustle. And I mean, I felt like if anybody was losing their minds out there, it was me, right, with the way the game was officiated. So for us to be able to trust whoever we put on the floor and do their part in it, outstanding.
32 free throws for the Hawks, 11 for you. You mentioned the officiating. I don't want you to get in the hot water, but what part of it frustrated you the most?
No, they've been fantastic. So since David's been on the job for 6 months and, you know, put out the zero tolerance, it's fixed everything. So it's nothing to do with the officials, it's everybody else. It's everybody else has to adjust. And so, you know, you look at the defensive ratings of teams this year, and they're up. Why? Why was there such an aggressive change from last year where, by comparison, as it stands right now, Melbourne United have the healthiest defensive rating, but last year they were ranking about 4th. So what's changed? And it's not the officiating, because David's done a fantastic job of stamping out any type of critical feedback and accountability in that regards. So, you know, we've got to do a better job of getting even more thinner over those screens. We've got to do a better job of verticality to the point where maybe you can collapse your chest a little bit to absorb a little bit more of the contact. Maybe we can do a better job of, I don't know, like allowing second chance points because you're not allowed to compete for the rebound. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, you know, we gave up 46 foul shots against Adelaide and we won. And tonight we gave up, I don't know, 20 foul shots in the 4th and we won. So just keep throwing these things at us and it's only going to make us a little bit more ticked off about it.
Yeah, you got one back after earlier in the season in the defeat here, as you remember. What were the changes that you made? And what also, as you mentioned, you had a few players go out. It wasn't easy, so what were the changes that you made in that respect?
When Illawarra called a timeout, because Lat was doing an incredible job defensively, switching out onto Harvey, and so the change I made was I took away all the defensive assignments and entrusted Taj and Bull to do it, and he was angry about it. And so when he put that game-winning shot up, I knew it was going in. So if I didn't make that defensive adjustment to tick Lat off, I reckon that shot probably wouldn't go in. No, I'm joking, of course. The boys just wanted it, and I'm not taking anything from Illawarra. They wanted it too. They've been rolling. They're fantastic, and we've always had these games, regardless where Cairns and Illawarra have been in ladder positions. I know during my first year at Cairns, when Gorge was here, it was battles, and then the flip last year, we won one by a missed buzzer beater by Harvey. And then obviously these last 2 games now have been off the back of buzzer beaters. So I don't know if it's about small market clubs that just like getting after each other, but it was cool. So the fans, they turned out, and then even their support for us and AK and everybody else. It's just a really cool atmosphere. Enjoy coming to Illawarra, enjoy competing against them, and look forward to another 1-point, 2-point margin. You know, to close out the game. Good thing is I don't know if we have to play him anymore unless we face him in the play-in. So my stress levels will come down hopefully by then.
Forde, you rebounded really well, especially offensively, 18-10. Do you take some pride in the fact that the boards were like that and the play that won you the game was an offensive rebound?
Well, what was huge was Josh, for example, got 2 massive O-balls and kicked it out to Bull for a 3-pointer. He did it twice. AK had 9 rebounds in the first quarter. We would have been dead in the water in that first quarter the way we were. I mean, we had good looks, and this is what I said to the guys in the timeout. The shots we were taking were good looks. We missed a lob, right? Like, they were good looks. What was keeping us alive was the fact that we had AK clean up the rebounds in the first quarter, and then, you know, it can really break the momentum of a team if you can get some second chance points. And, you know, everybody was in on that. Taryn had to put back. I mean, it's great when you got your guards crashing in for putbacks too. So effort and energy, that's all we can ask for.
What about that man's game winner? Talk to us about that. What do you think about it? His reaction? What do you want to say about it?
It's funny, my brother always says, like, you know, when your reaction is like, act like you've been there before. Like, you know, and trust me, I did not take that advice. I was on the court, I was ecstatic, the boys were juiced. It just was one of those moments too, just the moment he shot it, I was like, oh, that's going in. It never looked like missing, and he's been having a great year, and, you know, like, through circumstance, right? Like, he's been the guy that I've mucked about a little bit with rotations because, you know, we ride the momentum of guys like Bobby and Taryn and Jonah in different stages. So through injury, right, there becomes, hey, like, roll out and play him. What's the worst that can happen? So happy for that. He's absolutely crushing it. Any questions? Hey, AK, how did you enjoy coming back to Illawarra?
Loved it, man. Thank you, Forde.
I can jump in. Okay. Frustrating to foul out when you did, but up until that point, you were doing such a great job, like Forde said, with the offensive rebounds, the rebounding, and your job on Sam. How much did you enjoy coming back to the Dom?
I loved it, man. I spent 3 whole years here. You know, I grew up here, so it was dope to come back. The fans were out and about, so I had fun out there competing with Sam and all the dudes who I spent 3 years with. So I enjoyed it, you know.
The fact that you spent so much time playing against Sam in practice the last, 3 years, like you said, how much did that help when you had to go up against him tonight?
Developed my game, developed me defensively, you know, taught me how to just be in the right positions defensively and offensively, and just, you know, being that, like, big bro type of person. So it was good.
These last 2 games, you've shown, I guess, what you can do in extended minutes, and that was a big reason why you would have come to Cairns this year. How good is it to now be able to show in these bigger minutes what you're capable of?
It's been good, you know. I'm just trusting my work, staying humble, and just happy to have the opportunity, but I'm not satisfied. You know, I feel like I could do so much more. I could bring so much more to the table. So it's just building on it and building on it every day, every practice, coming in with the same mentality and just trying to get better.
Cole, missing 3 players in an away venue against a form team. What did the Taipans believe they could win tonight?
We just picked up the slack from the dudes who weren't here, you know. Everybody just had to pick up the slack, and we did. You know, we had 18 offensive rebounds. Like, dudes were just crashing. Dudes had heart out there, so, you know, we just picked up the slack.
Did you second guess yourself in the final quarter when players were fouling out and they were back in front? Did you ever think, what run a good race, but that's it?
Nah, I had trust in my teammates. I had trust we were going to win the game.
Adam, Bobby, what's his work situation and what do we expect to see next?
So concussion protocol timeline's out of our hands, and so we'll go on the advice of that, where, you know, 48 hours in a sense of, you know, doing nothing, and then pretty sure the timeline starts with that. So it's 9 days. So we don't expect Bobby back this weekend. We'll gradually build him back in and see what he's like next week.
Will any of the other 2 be back by Sunday?
Jonah's out probably for the regular season, with the calf tear, which is disappointing for him. Wardenberg, there's a chance, but I really don't want to, when we're talking about like a head injury, and I'm conscious of, like, I don't want to put that burden, that pressure on Sam as well. So I'll probably have him sit out because, you know, their health takes priority. He'll want to play. He'll probably be disappointed by that news, but look, you know, we're not rushing him back for 1 game. Run the risk of, you know, making it worse.
Yeah, sorry. One more for you, okay? You've got a lot of guys with a lot of confidence on this team, and Lat is one of them. I mean, would you prefer? I mean, I don't think you would have ever doubted that he would knock down that shot. He lives for those sort of moments, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Sure it is. You know, I see him working his shot every day in practice. So, yeah, there's no doubt he's going to make this shot, you know, the biggest shot of the game. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.